first and 10 at the 36. On first and 10, it's Dobbins. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
That's complete to his running back, J.K. Dobbins. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Throwing again on second down. Jackson. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming fourth down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. Early in this game, that you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Takes this about 5 yards deep.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Haskins will throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up second and 10. Throwing again. Haskins. He's going to launch it for Washington. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
Third down and 10 yards to go.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the shotgun, Haskins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
The Ravens
call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, That doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Made by Devin Bush.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson spinning away. That'll be complete to Dobbins. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. They needed a yard. They got it. 1st down.
When you're dead last in the NFL in 3rd down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about him picking up that one? That was big for them.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. A throw over the middle, taken in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The end result, 21 yards.
And a Raven 1st down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
52's the mark, boys. 52.
Shotgun handoff to Samuels. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
This defense has really flown around in the 1st half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
1st and 10.
And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
Ravens.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Being chased out left. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. It's worth noting when you talk about Jackson's running ability that Baltimore wide receivers had just over 1,400 receiving yards combined last year. And, Charles, that was the fewest yards by a wide receiver group in the NFL since 2011.
And, partner, I expect that number to go up this year. Last season, Lamar Jackson got very comfortable with his tight end group. In fact, he had one tight end that went to the Pro Bowl. But I think now, because of his ability to run the ball, it'll bring defenders closer to the line of scrimmage, and you'll see more big...
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. Now here's Hill. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front. Offensive line collected victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
On the return, Walker. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
That's the reason we ball for them. Circle around twice for the encore. If you know, you know.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's McFarland. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Tony Brown there on the tackle.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You could tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it up to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Check 26, check 26. Showing it.
Here's Haskins. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Looking to throw, Haskins. And yet again, Haskins is intercepted. 3rd time. Picked off at the 21.
Haskins pass.
So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jackson. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. From the gun, Jackson. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Devin Duvernay, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. Looking deep for Jennings. It's caught at the 10. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Antonio Callaway in the final seconds of the first half as the Ravens push further out in front. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And, you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Made at the 25-yard line. The Steelers take over 1st and 10. At their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will. I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? That'll be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. And right away, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
It's now
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. He'll only get a couple up to about the 30. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Jackson. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. No question that they're going to continue to look his way. 6 catches in the first half and now 7 on the game. They'll run on 1st down. Dobbins. And some room to maneuver. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now it's Jackson. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down. And
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there at 22. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Haskins. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Haskins. Haskins hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. He's got daylight. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. Now Tucker to add the PAT. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go.
Score, Ravens 23, Steelers nothing. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 44. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the Steelers' 17-yard line.
From the 17, Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Antonio Callaway with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Justin Tucker lining up for the extra point.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count.
His kick is good.
And it's up and good.
That's the score. Ravens 30. Steelers nothing. Justin Tucker to kick
Tucker
off.
now to kick it away following the touchdown. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 19. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here.
Complete.
23 yards, the final tally.
It's a gain of 23
So
yards.
first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second-half blowout material. And he'll bring this one inside the 35.
On the carry.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And the Raven first down.
Now Jackson on first down. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown.
Mark Andrews. Touchdown.
Mark Andrews, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Justin.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone, so give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Back now in Pittsburgh, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. On the return, Walker. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. McFarland once more. And some room to work. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 15 yards on the play. First down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On first down, it's Samuels. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. Really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Haskins. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Justin Matabike gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
It's now 3rd down.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. How about that? They weathered the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. They go draw play. This is Samuels. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there, and he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
McFarland, the ball carrier. Calebon Chason on the tackle.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw for it with Haskins. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a penny.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bud Dupree came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
2nd down.
Play action. Now Jackson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Andrews.
Jackson's.
They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
A gain of 9.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Andrews. The 30. Past the 20. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Baltimore.
Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
On the return, Walker. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
On the return, the Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Again, McFarland. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
And 8.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
52's the Mike. Watch Mike. Watch Mike. I'm coming.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. On first down, Dobbins. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11.
The Steelers' 27-yard line.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Devin Bush coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up fourth. So the final seconds tick away in this.